He's matured, grown into a real, proper young man. Knows what it takes to be a Manchester United player on and off the pitch. He's taking responsibility on it and off it. I do remember a young little lad coming on 2 nice goals, celebration with his teammates in the stand, of course. And I think he's living proof of what we want to do at the club. That when you sign for Man United, whether you're 5, 6, 10, 14, you've got a chance to make dreams come true, and long may it continue, because he's got 10, 15 years left in him.
Do you think that example of Marcus gives you, I know Man United, the name gives an advantage, but gives you an extra advantage when trying to sign the best young talent, that they know that there is a pathway?
I don't think it's just Marcus. I think it's through the history of Man United. We have proven and shown many times that we can develop our own local ones, homegrown ones. But you sign players like Wayne Rooney, Cristiano Ronaldo, you make them the best in the world. Sir Alex, he was the best at it. Sir Matt, unbelievable. And of course, we want to follow in their footsteps. Simon Peake.
Hi, Ollie. Obviously, there's been some big name players missing in recent matches. Are you going to be able to welcome back Cavani, McTominay, Van der Beek for this one?
No, they're still out. Still not trained enough or enjoyed in. So we'll be more or less the same squad as we had against Newcastle.
Can I ask about Dean Henderson? There's been lots of talk about him, only natural given how well he did at Sheffield United last season and what he's done in the first team for you. How much of a headache is it having to juggle him and David and playing time and keeping people happy and keeping Dean developing, I guess?
I've said it many a time. It's any player's job to keep the manager happy, I would think, to get into the team. And to be honest, it's not a bad headache to have 2 fantastic good goalkeepers. So Dean has matured throughout the season. I thought maybe the Real Sociedad game for me was his most assured one, which gives me a lot of confidence in him. Samuel Luckhurst.
Daniel, you made such a good start to your United career in the first 6 months or so. Did that surprise you, how quickly you adapted to the demands of the club? And after a difficult period, do you think that you're nearing that level of form again now?
I wouldn't say that it surprised me. I've worked very hard to get in this position. I think obviously at the start it's just play out of enjoyment and excitement. Just so happy to be here. I think through life you always go through difficult patches. Every player's been through it. It's about not sticking your head in the sand and just thinking, when can I come back from this? It's about reflecting, learning every single day, which I feel like I have, and try and getting back to, as the form, as you said at the start of the season. I'd like to think I'm on a good pathway for it. I've still got so much to learn, and I'm learning every single day. And the gaffer, the coaches are always speaking to me, and it's just about doing the right things all the time. Carlson?
Yes, hi Ollie, hi Dan. So question to Ollie, one of the hottest players on the planet at the moment is your former one, Erling Haaland, who seems to be wanted by all the big clubs in Europe. What do you think about his performances lately, and is that a man you would like to see at Old Trafford?
I think, when you have had kids and players through as a coach, you follow them, of course, and I keep in touch with Erling. So it's great to see him become the player he has become, and I know he'll work to improve all the time. He's a Dortmund player, and that's we just wish him well there, and then let's see what life will bring later on. Chris Wheeler.
Yes, hi Ollie. You didn't have your normal coaching team with you on Sunday because of the whole COVID issue. Will you have any of them back for the game tomorrow? And how confident are you that the outbreak is being contained and won't impact any of the players?
We've had loads of tests since then, and all the players have been been negative, and with the precaution we did, I think we just acted in the right time and the right manner. So, but they won't be with us now for this game, no. Keith Downey.
Hi Ollie, can I ask you please about Juan Mata? A couple of reports in the papers today that there's interest from a couple of Italian clubs in him. How important is he to your future? Obviously, in the knowledge that I think his contract, am I right, is up at the end of the season and he has an option?
Yeah, I'm not surprised that teams are interested in him, because one is a very good footballer, two is a fantastic professional and human being. So of course, when the contracts are running towards the end, there'll be interest, and I'm sure Juan has been able to speak to other clubs if he wanted to. I keep in touch with him all the time anyway, so we've got a good dialogue. Laurie Whitwell.
Hiya. Question for Daniel, if I may. You mentioned earlier about improving this season. I know it's difficult to perhaps talk about yourself, but can you just give us an idea on what kind of stuff you feel like you've got better at? Because I think the last couple of games have shown a different side to your game, your performances.
Yeah, I think over the seasons I've been here, it's about learning off players in my position, coaches as well, and the gaffer. And I think what I come away from the most is being myself. And I think I've got to take kind of a leaf out of everyone's book, but ultimately being myself. I feel like I'm a different forward to all the players here. In a good way. I think every forward is different, and it's good to have that option. So yeah, I think I came away from that a little bit, but I think I reflected and looked back at when I'm best in the games, and when I'm at my best, and kind of come back to that. But yeah, just learning every day and training.
James Sugundra.
Daniel, we've got just a few months to go in this season. United are still in 3 competitions. Just how hungry are this squad to pick up some silverware this year?
Yeah, I think you've seen this season we're so hungry to pick up silverware. I think last season we were, just that little bit off, and obviously we want to go that step further.
Paul Hurst.
Question for Ollie, please. You said about Marcus earlier that he could play for 10 or 15 years, and obviously part of that, I guess, is down to the way that he lives his life off the pitch. Is he an example for the rest of the squad and for other players normally to kind of how to look after themselves, basically?
Yeah, I think what it does on and off the pitch, you have to be meticulous to last for a long career. We've had the best possible example of that in the world football the last 20 years. Cristiano. I think the way Cristiano has looked after himself. I thought he came into the club and we all took notice. The way he developed throughout this career and the way he looked after himself is major. I'm sure Marcus as well is looking after himself, and that's the only way to live at the top. You cannot ever get distracted, and if you play until you're 35, you can do whatever you want after that. Aurelius.
Hi Ole. As one of the only managers in world football right now, you can say that you've managed 3 of maybe the 5, 6 most promising attacking players in the world. Erling, of course, Marcus, and Mason. Is that a coincidence? Is that related to of course, or how special is that as a former striker to be able to work with those types of talents? And how do you compare those cases, having worked with all 3?
Well, I think it's when you're at Man United, you're down to you'll work with some fantastic talents. Erling we signed with Molde, and of course you try to help them. That's our jobs as coaches, managers. Try to make players better players, better persons, and I feel privileged, and I'm lucky, and I really enjoy working with people. Players who want to, like Dan next to me here, he's an example who wants to improve, he's hungry to learn, and they're the players you give an extra attention to. And the lads you were talking about there, they're part of it. Andy Mitten.
Hi Dan, hi Ollie. Question for each here. Dan, what's it like to play with Bruno? And Ollie, your opposite at Real Sociedad, Imanol, talked of the physical rather than technical difference between the two sides. Spanish teams have been hugely successful, but 4 teams have been defeated last week in European competition. Do you sense a shift to a different type of successful football, or is it more about economics?
Dan first.
Yeah, it just is what you see on the TV. Yeah, Bruno's been unbelievable since he come in. Not just on the pitch, but off the pitch as well. He's a great character, and he's brought a lot to the change room. As you see, he's brought so much on the pitch as well. And I mean, we do speak a lot because I mean, if I can get on the same wavelength as him and just know what he's going to do before he does it, then it's going to help both of us. So I think in the game, there's times when he's not even looked at you, but you know he knows that he's seen you first time. He's done so many of them balls this season, and it's just great to play with, and it's something that I've hopefully can keep having a good connection with.
Yeah, and for me, I think football evolves and develops all the time. I think if you look back to the time when I was playing, such a massive difference tactically, technically, physically, probably mentally as well. For me, the fitter you are, the more you can do. If you have pace, you can run, but if you're technical, you can pass. I think football is the best teams have the physicality, technicality, and tactically as well. And mentally, they're just very strong. So for me, of course, we had some of the goals with Marcus. Marcus is exceptional. Dan, exceptional pace. Of course, that's going to trouble any defender. We found a nice way of finding space in behind them in Turin, and hopefully we can find some spaces this time as well to hurt them. But we know that we have to defend well because they are, as you said, or as I said, they are very technically good. You know, when you got the David Silva out there, you've got to be concentrated for hundreds of minutes.
Last 2 questions. The first one for Rob and the last one for James Ducker.
A question for Ollie, if that's all right. Adnan Januzaj said before the first tie that he felt at United he'd maybe been a victim of the club sort of chopping and changing managers. Do you think young players, kids coming through the academy and players like Dan have got a better chance maybe to establish themselves now they've got a bit more stability under you?
Of course, it's down to each manager how they think. I believe in the youth. I believe that young players, if they get a chance, they can really develop, improve, even impress and surprise you. That's just part of this club, and is part of me. I've always loved working with young players, hungry players with a good attitude. And if you've got a good attitude, you've got a chance with me. If you don't, there's less of a chance.
Last one for James Duncan.
Hi Ollie, just a quick question back on Erling Haaland. 12 months ago, obviously you came close to signing in. You got Bruno in that window. Do you? I know you missed out on Erling, but does it show from a recruitment point of view just how right the players that you are targeting are now? And also, having missed out on him, do you think that ship has sailed, or do you think it's something that you could look at again in the future?
One, I can't speak about Erling because he's with Borussia Dortmund. I think it's disrespectful to talk too much about it, apart from that I know him and that I speak to him. And who weren't interested in him a year ago, because everyone would say you'd take the best players in the world, and Erling is a top player. But for me in the recruitment, I think we've done well. There's a boy sat next to me here who proves that as well. Bruno, as you say, I think the signings we've made since I've come to the club have all contributed and added to the squad. And that's part of what we have to do. We have to complement what we have in our group with other different types of players and also young players. So I'm happy with our recruitment model and the processes that we go through, yeah.
Okay, thanks very much, everybody.